From writing her first song as a teenager to meeting guitar legend Lindsey Buckingham and beginning one of rock's most tumultuous love affairs, Stevie's life has been filled with stratospheric highs and crushing lows.
Regarding rock music, few names are as iconic as Stevie Nicks. From her captivating vocals in Fleetwood Mac to her solo career, she's been mesmerizing audiences for over 4 decades. Finally, at 76 years old, she opened up about her long-guarded secret, confessing that this mysterious man remains the love of her life despite the passage of time. Who was he? What was their story? Join us as we unravel the hidden chapters of Stevie Nicks's love life and discover the man who stole her heart but eluded her grasp. Steve Nicks has experienced a myriad of relationships, yet one truly captured her heart above all others. Before we dive into the details of this unforgettable romance and its twists and turns, let's briefly explore her past relationships and how they shaped her journey in love and her illustrious career. First love, Lindsey Buckingham. During the 1960s, Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham enrolled as students at Menlo Atherton High School in California, forged a musical partnership that profoundly impacted the rock and roll genre. The inception of their collaboration led to the formation of a renowned and tempestuous relationship characterized by their renowned harmonies in both vocal performances and personal interactions. During their final year of high school, they collaborated at a school function, demonstrating their harmonious voices that foreshadowed future success. After graduating, they briefly went their separate ways, but were brought back together when Buckingham asked Nicks to join his band, Fritz, which focused on psychedelic rock. This marked the beginning of their official collaboration, propelling them into the world of rock music. Abruptly thrust into the vibrant rock scene of the 1960s, the experience of performing alongside esteemed artists such as Jefferson Airplane and Janis Joplin marked a significant and challenging initiation for the individuals in question. Subsequent to the dissolution of the musical group Fritz during the early 1970s, the connection between Nicks and Buckingham strengthened, progressing beyond mere romance to encompass a musical partnership characterized by the earnest expression of their emotions and dedication within their music. In 1973, the duo presented their initial collaborative record, Buckingham Nicks, which, despite not receiving significant commercial recognition, established a solid foundation for their future projects and drew the interest of Mick Fleetwood, resulting in a transformative opportunity. Becoming members of Fleetwood Mac in 1975 signified a crucial turning point for the couple, infusing new energy into the group while also putting a significant amount of pressure on their personal relationship. During the production of the innovative album Rumors, the stresses began to surface. The challenges of rapid fame, combined with the seriousness of their artistic journey, began to weaken their connection. By the year 1976, in the midst of working on Rumors, Nicks and Buckingham's partnership reached a critical juncture. Nonetheless, the sorrow of their split served as inspiration for the composition of some of the most legendary tracks in the genre of rock music. Nicks composed the song Dreams, which conveys a sense of melancholy associated with lost love, whereas Buckingham's response came in the form of the more intense and raw Go Your Own Way. The personal struggles faced by Nicks and Buckingham were transparent in their music, connecting with listeners on a global scale and ultimately leading to the massive success of the album Rumors. Even though their romantic relationship came to an end, the musical collaboration between Nicks and Buckingham endured, although not without obstacles. The dynamic between them became a prominent feature of Fleetwood Mac, injecting an energetic spark into their live shows and bringing a heightened complexity to their songwriting that enthralled their audience. Nonetheless, Nyx continued to pursue the quest of finding true love. But the next experience she had was unexpected. J.D. Souther. A relationship so brief. After the dramatic ending of her affair with Buckingham, Stevie Nicks went on a new phase of fame and artistic discovery. This transformative period of her life began when she crossed paths with J.D. Souther, a wandering yet influential character in her romantic storyline. The lives of Stevie Nicks and J.D. Souther first crossed in the vibrant music community of Los Angeles in the early 1970s. Souther, who was already known in the country rock genre, had worked on numerous chart-topping songs for the Eagles and was starting to receive acclaim for his musical talents. After recently ending her relationship with Lindsey Buckingham and benefiting from the success of Fleetwood Mac, Nicks discovered in Souther a kindred spirit who comprehended the pressures and joys of living in the spotlight. Their mutual admiration was quick and deep. Both celebrated for their poetic lyrics and emotionally intense shows. Their bond seemed to surpass mere physical attraction, reaching a more profound connection within their creative souls. The relationship between Stevie Nicks and J.D. Souther, although brief, was characterized by a shared love for music and a deep admiration for each other's skills. The music industry, which initially connected them, also posed considerable challenges for their relationship. During the 1970s, the music scene was known for its male-centric nature, where women were usually assigned supporting roles or recognized mainly for their connections to male artists. Nicks faced difficulties in establishing herself as a solo artist within this industry, while simultaneously managing her romantic involvement with Souther. As she witnessed the special treatment and reverence given to male artists such as Souther, which appeared to be less readily available to their female counterparts, Nicks, who was swiftly becoming one of the most impactful women in rock music, was keenly conscious of this disparity. Throughout the progression of their relationship, Nicks persisted in questioning these norms, utilizing her growing authority to advocate for not only herself but also for other women in the field. Strangely, the association with Souther seemed to strengthen her resolve to gain recognition for her talent, rather than her romantic affiliations. Even though their relationship was short-lived, its influence on Nicks's growth as an artist was significant. Following their split, Nicks utilized her personal trials as inspiration for her musical compositions, emphasizing themes of self-reliance, perseverance, and the pursuit of acknowledgement in her songwriting. Mick Fleetwood, The Passionate Affair. After ending her brief affair with Souther, Nicks found herself immersed in what can be regarded as the most intricate romantic involvement of her personal past. Her connection with Mick Fleetwood was crucial and elaborate, significantly intertwined with the tumultuous and artistically vibrant environment of Fleetwood Mac. This connection had enduring consequences on the direction of the band and the wider realm of rock music. The beginning of their romantic involvement can be linked back to the turbulent atmosphere within Fleetwood Mac during the late 1970s, a period characterized by the band's remarkable achievement with their innovative album, Rumors, despite the emergence of underlying interpersonal conflicts. Nicks had recently concluded her lengthy association with Lindsey Buckingham, whereas Fleetwood's union with Jenny Boyd was encountering challenges. The close emotional connection and innovative collaboration between Nicks and Fleetwood resulted in a merging of their work and personal spheres, creating a passionate and intricate relationship. Their affair happened within the context of busy tour schedules, extensive time in the recording studio, and continuous attention from the media, influencing the artistic output of Fleetwood Mac, as their emotional ups and downs were reflected in their music, giving it an authentic and revealing character that struck a chord with listeners. The relationship also presented difficulties for the band's dynamics, as other Fleetwood Mac members had to handle the emotional fallout of the affair while trying to uphold professionalism during personal turmoil. This situation was particularly tough for Buckingham, who had to observe his ex-girlfriend entering into a romantic relationship with one of his fellow band members. Similar to many relationships that begin in turbulent situations, the romantic involvement between Nicks and Fleetwood was brief, yet it did not mark the conclusion of their association. In order to effectively work together within the framework of Fleetwood Mac, the individuals involved had to establish a means of cohabitation and partnership, transforming their interpersonal dynamic into a bond defined by lasting camaraderie and artistic collaboration. While this process of change was marked by challenges, it highlighted their commitment to professionalism and their collective devotion to the band. Nevertheless, Nicks remained steadfast in her pursuit of romantic love, resolute in her desire to encounter a partner who would offer unwavering affection despite her demanding career and busy schedule. Don Henley, finding love with fame. Coming out of the tumultuous emotional environment of her relationship with Fleetwood, Nicks found herself captivated by another notable individual in the music industry. In 1977, amidst the triumph of Fleetwood Mac's impactful album Rumors, Stevie Nicks was basking in a period of significant accomplishments. Don Henley, the drummer and co-lead singer of the Eagles, was likewise enjoying the height of his professional career during this period. When these two influential music personalities crossed paths, a powerful and instant bond was formed. Both Nicks and Henley were known for their mesmerizing stage performances and their capacity to communicate profound feelings through their songwriting. Their partnership was characterized by a strong bond founded on a mutual passion for music and a thorough understanding of the complexities that come with stardom. However, the intense connection that united them proved to be the catalyst for the breakdown of their association. The requirements of their individual musical groups, coupled with the challenges of maintaining a public relationship, heavily affected their bond. The lifestyle of frequent travel, the appeal of celebrity status, and their assertive characteristics formed a volatile mix. The unexpected pregnancy. Throughout this fast-moving romantic relationship, Nicks found herself unexpectedly facing a life-changing situation when she learned that she was pregnant. This discovery led to a flurry of emotions and difficult decisions. Both Nicks and Henley were in important stages of their careers, with busy tour schedules and commitments to their respective albums. The idea of starting a family, while briefly attractive, seemed to conflict with the paths they were both following. After extensive consideration and undoubtedly difficult contemplation, Nicks made the challenging choice to terminate the pregnancy. This decision, although deeply personal, would have significant consequences for both herself and Henley. It marked a pivotal moment in their relationship, one that would shape their interactions in the years ahead. The aftermath of Nicks's decision resulted in the gradual breakdown of their romantic partnership. The weight of what could have been, combined with the fast-paced nature of their careers, proved to be too much for their budding love to endure. However, even as their romantic involvement came to an end, the impact of their time together would continue to resonate in their music. With that said, who did Nicks become romantically involved with following her relationship with Henley? Let's find out. Jimmy Iavine, affair with her producer. In the early 1980s, Stevie Nicks and Jimmy Iavine developed a unique professional and personal bond that greatly influenced Nicks's musical career and the music industry at large. This collaboration between Nicks, an accomplished rock artist, and Iavine, a promising music producer, was particularly evident on Nicks's first solo album, Belladonna. The initial interaction between Nicks and Iavine was characterized by a noticeable chemistry, as Iavine's perceptive comprehension and enhancement of Nicks's unique sound strongly aligned with her artistic vision and aspirations. Their intensive teamwork in the recording studio resulted in the transformation of their professional relationship into a more intimate connection, especially during the creation of Bella Donna, which played a significant role in the development of their budding romantic involvement. The extensive time spent collaborating in the studio, their mutual passion for producing exceptional music, and the personal aspect of their creative process all played a role in the overall connection between them. Nyx discovered in Iavine not just a skilled producer, but also a like-minded individual who understood her artistic goals and adeptly brought them to life. As their bond grew stronger, the intricacy of their professional partnership became more pronounced. Iavine's influence on Nyx's musical work became more evident over time, playing a significant part in shaping the unique sound that would come to define her solo artistic trajectory. Standout songs such as Edge of 17 and Stop Draggin' My Heart Around exemplified the blending of their respective skills, with Iavine's skillful production techniques harmoniously enhancing Nyx's talent for songwriting and vocals. Despite their successful collaboration in the creative field, the strength of Nyx and Iavine's relationship posed obstacles in their personal lives. Both individuals, known for their strong personalities and dedication to their work, faced challenges as the lines between their personal and professional lives became blurred, leading to tensions both inside and outside the studio. Moreover, the requirements of their individual professions. Nyx balancing obligations to Fleetwood Mac while also pursuing her solo career, and Iavine quickly establishing himself as a sought-after producer in the music industry, contributed to the challenges of maintaining a romantic relationship and professional partnership in the competitive world of rock music. Nonetheless, the significant influence of their connection on Nyx's solo music career should not be underestimated. Iavine's expertise in production was instrumental in solidifying Nyx's individual identity as a musician separate from her role in Fleetwood Mac. The critical and commercial success of albums such as Bella Donna and The Wild Heart, which were both overseen by Iavine, further cemented Nyx's reputation as an esteemed figure in the rock genre. Following the dissolution of their romantic partnership, Nyx and Iavine successfully managed to maintain a strong professional relationship based on mutual respect and a shared passion for music, allowing them to collaborate effectively despite changes in their personal dynamics. Following the end of their romantic relationship, the lasting impact of Nyx and Iavine on each other's personal and professional lives remained evident. Iavine went on to establish himself as a prominent figure in the music industry by co-founding Interscope Records and playing a crucial role in the development of Beats electronics. In contrast, Nyx continued to strengthen her reputation as a significant and influential figure in the rock music genre. Reflecting on this period in her life, Nyx acknowledged making what she considered as one of the most significant errors of her life, which she later came to regret. Kim Anderson, A Union of Instincts. Stevie Nicks's short-lived union with Kim Anderson was an unforeseen and complex partnership that emerged from their shared experiences of loss, culminating in an important revelation on the themes of love and grief. The account begins with Robin Anderson, a close friend of Nyx since their youth. Robin had consistently been a steadfast presence in Nyx's life, serving as a reliable confidant who stood by her during moments of both success and struggle. In 1982, amidst the height of Nyx's flourishing individual musical pursuits, an emotional event unfolded as Robin received a heartbreaking diagnosis of terminal leukemia whilst pregnant with her first child. This sorrowful revelation plunged Nyx into the realization that the inevitable departure of her beloved confidant was looming. Witnessing Robin's declining health, Nyx committed herself wholeheartedly to providing unwavering assistance to her friend, resolute in her resolve to remain by her side during her last moments. Kim Anderson, Robin's spouse, similarly faced profound sorrow and distress in navigating this tumultuous period. As his spouse's health deteriorated, he sought comfort in the companionship of Nyx, united by their affection for Robin and their mutual grief. In the midst of this emotional upheaval, Robin delivered their son, Matthew, only days before her passing. The joy of new life was intertwined with the sorrow of losing Robin, plunging Nyx and Anderson into a tumultuous mix of feelings. After Robin's passing, Nyx and Anderson felt a magnetic pull towards one another, their common sorrow creating a deep bond. In a hasty effort to carry out Robin's final request to look after her son, Nyx and Anderson swiftly made the decision to marry just 3 months after Robin's death. Their sudden wedding was met with astonishment and concern from family and friends, who perceived it as an impulsive choice made in response to grief, rather than true love. Nyx admitted later on that the marriage was intended to honor Robin's legacy and offer a motherly presence for baby Matthew. The truth of their circumstances quickly became apparent when Nyx, in the peak of her career, was thrust into the roles of spouse and stepmother unexpectedly. The requirements of her musical career clashed with the duties of her new family, leading to stress and conflict in their early marriage. Anderson, still grappling with the death of his wife, faced challenges in developing a deeper bond with Nyx beyond their mutual sorrow. As time passed, Nyx and Anderson came to acknowledge the significance of their mistake, as the initial strong emotions surrounding their mutual loss diminished, revealing the harsh truth of their lack of compatibility. Nyx, who was used to the carefree and exhilarating aspects of her rock and roll existence, felt restricted by the obligations of a domestic life, while Anderson struggled to contend with the overwhelming demands of Nyx's career. The union ultimately ended following a duration of only 8 months, with the legal dissolution being completed in 1984, signifying the conclusion of what Nyx later described as her unique marital relationship. The separation had a profound emotional impact on both parties involved. Over the following years, Nyx continued to stay in touch with Matthew, upholding her promise to Robin by fulfilling the role of his godmother, offering financial support, and staying actively involved in his life. Joe Walsh finally found the one. After experiencing a period of sorrow and a failed marriage, Stevie Nicks found herself in what she would later describe as the most significant romantic partnership in her life. The relationship between Stevie Nicks and Joe Walsh represented a crucial and transformative period in her romantic past, defined by deep affection, mutual obstacles, and a conclusion that had enduring effects on both their personal and musical endeavors. The story of Stevie Nicks and Joe Walsh began in the late 1970s, a period characterized by both musicians reaching the height of their musical abilities. Nicks was at the pinnacle of her career with Fleetwood Mac and her solo endeavors, while Walsh had already established himself as a skilled guitarist through his work with the James Gang and the Eagles. Their trajectories intersected in the dynamic music scene of Los Angeles, where their mutual status as rock icons led to an instant bond. In their first meeting, there was a clear and undeniable connection between Nicks and Walsh. They were attracted to each other's creativity, humor, and mutual understanding of the challenges of living in the spotlight. Quickly, their initial attraction developed into a deep romantic relationship, driven by their common love for music and strong emotional connection. What made this relationship stand out for Nicks was the strong sense of partnership she felt with Walsh. In contrast to previous romantic involvements plagued by workplace competition or unequal authority dynamics, the bond between them was characterized by equality and mutual support. They shared a deep understanding of each other as creative individuals navigating the challenges of fame. Their collaboration was marked by a great deal of innovation. Walsh had a significant influence on Nicks's musical work, inspiring some of her most emotional and introspective compositions. His skills on the guitar and understanding of music enhanced her singing talents and poetic verses, resulting in partnerships that would be treasured by audiences for years. In Walsh's view, Nicks was both an inspiration and a partner who could keep up with his innovative energy and grasp the intensity of his artistic passion. Nevertheless, the bond between Nicks and Walsh encountered numerous obstacles, plagued with challenges. Both parties were facing inner struggles, particularly related to substance abuse. The extravagant rock and roll lifestyle they were engulfed in had adverse repercussions on their well-being, resulting in their relationship often teetering on the edge of disorder as they battled addiction. Nevertheless, their bond intensified amidst these challenges, perhaps even fueled by them. They did not see each other solely as romantic partners, but also as trusted confidants and supporters in their individual struggles. Their shared experiences with the highs and lows of fame, as well as their mutual understanding of its challenges, established a level of closeness that Nicks had rarely encountered in her previous relationships. The depth of their feelings was reflected in their music, with songs written during this period hinting at the intensity of their emotions for each other, the pain of their challenges, and the hope they found in their connection. These songs offered fans a glimpse into the personal lives of two of rock's most enigmatic figures, adding further layers of meaning to their music. Unfortunately, the very reasons that brought them together eventually led to their breakup. Their ongoing struggles with addiction reached a critical point, leading them to realize that they needed to separate in order to prioritize their individual paths to recovery. While the decision to end their relationship was heartbreaking for both of them, it was made out of love and a shared commitment to each other's well-being. After their breakup, Nicks went through a period of intense grief and reflection. She later described the end of her relationship with Walsh as one of the most difficult experiences of her life. The pain of their separation inspired some of her most emotionally raw and impactful songwriting, creating tracks that deeply resonated with fans who had experienced similar losses. For Walsh, the conclusion of their relationship had a significant impact as well. It marked a pivotal moment in his journey towards sobriety and self-discovery. The love he shared with Nicks would remain a meaningful chapter in his life story, influencing his music and personal growth for years to come. Despite the end of their affair, the connection between Nicks and Walsh endured. Over time, they were able to evolve their love into a deep and lasting friendship, demonstrating the genuine care and respect they had for each other, even after the heartache of their breakup. In later years, both Nicks and Walsh would look back on their time together with a mix of fondness and sadness. For Nicks, Walsh remained the one, the great love of her life, who had touched her soul in a unique way. This sentiment was evident in her music, where references to their relationship continued to appear, serving as a testimony to its enduring impact on her heart and her art. A surge in her musical career. Stevie Nicks's professional trajectory has been intimately associated with her romantic encounters, acting as a substantial wellspring of creativity for numerous of her most impactful and emotionally resonant compositions. Her aptitude for transforming the peaks, valleys, and intricacies of her personal relationships into lyrical verse has been a pivotal facet of her artistic expression, facilitating listeners to resonate with her individual experiences on a profound scale. What sets Nicks apart as an artist is her aptitude for translating personal experiences into narratives that have a broader resonance. While her music frequently draws from her own life, it connects with audiences by tapping into universal human emotions such as love, heartbreak, and resilience. Nyx's extraordinary skill lies in her ability to incorporate the intricate details of her personal life and relationships into stories and sentiments that feel deeply relatable to each individual listener. This talent for turning personal experiences into art is particularly evident in how Nyx has revisited and reinterpreted her songs over time. As she has gained new insights into her past relationships, her perspectives on these songs have evolved, giving rise to fresh meanings and emotional complexities. A piece inspired by an intense romance might be performed years later with a sense of wistful yearning or hard-earned understanding, demonstrating how Nyx's artistic expression has evolved and deepened alongside her personal development. Furthermore, Nyx's openness in discussing the motivations behind her musical creations has fostered a unique bond with her fans. Enthusiasts have been able to follow the storyline of her love life through her music, sensing a familiarity with the personal aspects of her experiences. This candor and genuineness have endeared Nyx to various cohorts of listeners who see her as more than just a prominent figure in rock music, but as a soul, sharing in the complexities of love and connections. Legacy. In spite of the conclusion of her various relationships, Nyx continues to demonstrate resilience in her music and personal style. The impact of Nyx's musical works, informed by her romantic experiences, extends beyond her solo endeavors and involvement with Fleetwood Mac. Nyx's songwriting method, characterized by a focus on emotional sincerity and autobiographical narrative, has played a considerable role in shaping the artistic endeavors of numerous artists. Numerous vocalists and lyricists have identified Nyx as a muse, particularly appreciating her bold incorporation of personal life events into her creative outputs. Throughout her career, as Nyx has evolved as an artist, her music has consistently mirrored her shifting views on love and relationships. Initially drawing inspiration from intense and passionate romances of her youth, her more recent works reflect a deeper and more nuanced comprehension of love. This evolution in her music parallels Nyx's own personal growth, moving from a young woman navigating tumultuous romantic relationships to a seasoned artist drawing from a wealth of life experiences. Numerous musicians and artists have acknowledged Nyx as a significant influence and a wellspring of creative inspiration. Several prominent musicians such as Beyoncé, Destiny's Child, Courtney Love, Michelle Branch, Belinda Carlisle, The Chicks, formerly Dixie Chicks, Mary J. Blige, Sheryl Crow, Nadia Ali, Florence Welch, Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, Vanessa Carlton, Delta Goodrem, and Lorde have been recognized. Australian singer Darren Hayes has expressed Stevie Nicks as one of his preferred artists from his youth, while Eminem's mother, Debbie Nelson, mentioned in her book, My Son Marshall, My Son Eminem, that her son admired the song Rhiannon. The musical group, Dixie Chicks, delivered a performance of the song Landslide that proved to be commercially successful by achieving a position in the top 10 on various music charts, notably reaching the #1 spot on both the adult contemporary and country charts. This performance of Landslide earned a BMI Songwriters Award in 2003 for Song of the Year, which recognizes the composer of a song regardless of the performer. Additionally, BMI honored Stevie Nicks with the 35th Robert J. Burton Award for Most Performed Country Song of the Year for Landslide, based on its frequent airplay in the United States during the award eligibility period. The cover version of Landslide was featured on the Dixie Chicks' commercially successful Monument album Home, where it gained recognition on various Billboard charts including Country, Adult Top 40, Hot 100, and AC. Furthermore, the alternative rock band The Smashing Pumpkins produced an unplugged interpretation of the track, which was included in their 1994 B-side compilation, Pisces Iscariot. Numerous other notable cover versions have been produced, such as the Corrs' interpretation of Dreams and Whole, led by Courtney Love, performing Gold Dust Woman. Beyond these covers, Stevie Nicks' influence extends into the broader landscape of popular culture. Her unique blend of mysticism and vulnerability has resonated deeply with generations of artists and listeners alike. Nicks' distinctive style, characterized by her flowing chiffon dresses, platform boots, and ethereal stage presence, has become iconic, inspiring not only musicians, but also fashion designers and visual artists. Her persona, often embodying the archetype of the witchy woman, has been embraced by fans and creators who see in her a symbol of empowerment and artistic freedom. The enduring appeal of Nicks' music and image can be attributed to her ability to tap into universal themes of love, loss, and self-discovery, making her a timeless figure in the world of music. As she continues to tour and release new material, Nicks remains a vital force in the industry, proving that her legacy is far from finished. Her contributions to music, both as a solo artist and as a member of Fleetwood Mac, have cemented her place as one of the most influential figures in rock history. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.